Hello traders, and welcome to Trading the Trend. I am Dennis, and this is my weekend look at the market trends for week ending September 1st. So we made it through the awful month of August, and we actually were up surprisingly with most of the market. I think the S&P finished just slightly down a few cents by month end, but the Dow and the NASDAQ were all up, so things are looking very good for the markets yet. As you can see, I got some different charts here. I'm trying out these new charts from something called TradingView.com. These are free charts, so I'm going to give them a try. S&P 500 weekly chart with a 40-week moving average, which is the same as the 200-day moving average on the daily. And you can see, even though we did have a little bit of a pullback, we rebounded from that pullback. We had a strong week. As you can see, things are looking very good. We're almost to new highs again. Matter of fact, we're very close to a closing week high as well. So things are still looking good for the market. Let's look at the Dow. Same situation. Dow seems to be a little bit weaker than the S&P, but still moving up. And then you look at the NASDAQ, and this is nearly a breakout move in the NASDAQ. I mean, this is telling me that that buyers are taking on risk. When you see the NASDAQ leading the way, that's what we want to see. You've had the last 2 weeks have pretty much wiped out this entire 4-week downtrend we have. So when the uptrend outpaces the downtrend, that's always a good thing, and it's going to lead to a higher market. So we're moving into September, which is supposed to be the worst month of the year for markets, but this thing looks like it's setting up for a rip higher, so we'll see what happens. Next thing I'm going to look at is the US dollar index, and you can see we've been on a terrible downtrend here. We did find a little life, even though the dollar was down early in the week. It did finish up for the week, but this still looks pretty ugly. If you back this out a bit, you can see 92 is like this ledge that we're about to fall off of. And if we do get a weekly close below 92, I mean, there is no support until you get all the way down to 80. So we'll have to see where this goes. I would suspect this will continue lower unless we see some intervention by the Federal Reserve, which could, of course, always happen at any time. Next thing I want to look at is crude oil. And there we go, crude oil, 5 down weeks in a row. Now, the funny thing about this, because of the hurricane, there's been interruption in some of these oil rigs out in the Gulf. And this is the West Texas crude oil prices that we're looking at right now. So even though with that hurricane, we're still seeing prices back down a little bit, but locally at the gas station, prices are headed higher. We've seen about a 50 cents a gallon increase since the hurricane here locally in Orlando, Florida. So gas prices are heading up, even though oil prices are still trying to move down. But you see there's a lot of wicks, a lot of lower wicks with these lower oil prices. And even with 5 down weeks in a row, we're still higher than we were with this big green candle here. So that's all looking good. I would expect this downtrend to end with prices heading up higher. Now let's go to our metals. We'll start with gold first. And as you can see, gold, it is at a high of 1324. I believe this is the highest point it's been in over a year. And we've really broken out of this consolidation we're in. So this is looking very positive here for gold. And when we look at silver, same situation. We're starting to get some momentum going here. Definitely want to see it get above this 1850 mark. That would end our lower high situation we've been having. We're still making lower highs and lower lows. I did hear something interesting on a podcast this past weekend. I was listening to them talking about how a lot of a lot of silver traders have given up. They've thrown in the towel, and from the date that podcast was done on, it kind of coincided with this big, ugly down candle and reversal we had there at the end of June, beginning of July. So if that is what it took to finally get enough people to throw in the towel, that this could mark the end of this down move for silver. So we'll see if that holds true. Silver is up over 10% year to date. Gold is doing better. It's up 15% year to date. So the metals are starting to come back to life, but they've fooled us before, so we'll just have to wait and see. The gold miners is what's got me real excited. This chart doesn't look nearly as impressive, but it's actually telling a different story here, as the gold miners are now leading. They're up 18% year to date, and if we can get a close above that $25 mark, maybe even above 26, then this thing has room to run until we get to these highs from 2016. So things are looking really good in the metals at this point in time. Now the last one I'm going to look at is our Bitcoin. And you can see we're still in this parabolic move up. It was definitely a wild week of trading in the cryptos. Bitcoin was just shy of $5,000, and then we had a pretty good sell-off on Saturday. Prices have started to stabilize a bit right here. The entire cryptocurrency market sold off along with Bitcoin, so everybody took a hit on Saturday, but we'll see if prices can stabilize here, and then maybe we'll look for another leg up after this little bit of a pullback. Any pullback has been a buying opportunity, so definitely see what's not pulling back as much, and maybe those are the ones that you want to own in this space. So anyway, that's what I got for you for this week. Hopefully everybody is having a great weekend, and of course it's Labor Day weekend here in the States, so the markets are closed on Monday, which means you probably won't see a whole lot of volatility in the currency markets. So everyone have a great weekend, and I will catch you later.